Hi. Here we are. Hi, Staci.
Hello.
How are you? Fabulous. We're still here.
I see that. Are you in the hospital right now?
No, but we should be. He's still there.
Oh my word.
I know.
What's happening?
He had and so he's being heavily antibioticed, and supposedly we get to pick him up tomorrow.
Oh my word.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
It's a little scary. I'm just excited to see Jenna.
I know.
Incredible speaking woman. What in the world? Oh my gosh. She's just, entered the 108-pound club we heard last night.
Wow.
That is so magical. Just amazing.
That's awesome.
Sorry, I'm trying to cook dinner at the same time as trying to listen to what's going to happen tonight. But
That's all
yep,
right.
109 pounds, and yeah, crazy, huh?
We're absolutely so proud of you. I mean, from this team, we only know of Joe, and now you're the first woman to hit that mark. So congratulations.
Oh wow!
Yeah. From Fit Fearless and Fun, there's a few people on Trudy's team that have lost 100 pounds, including Duska Mills being one of them, and then Susie Johnson, a few other people. So that is so cool. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. So let's see. It is exactly. There's Joe.
There's Joe.
200-pound man. It's 6:58. Okay, so we've got just a few minutes, Stace, and then we'll turn it over to you. And wow, there's a lot of people on this call. This is awesome. Yeehaw. Doreen's screen is green. Hello, Doreen. And let's see who else we've got. So a few more minutes, maybe one more minute. I got to see a lot of you guys last night. That's so cool to see you live. Okay.
I felt bad that you had to leave so darn early.
I know. I felt terrible about it, but yeah. By the time I got there, the cool thing about going to the ER in Eagle, Idaho, is that they got him right in and drew his blood right away, which was crucial because it's this waiting game, to get the results. And so we have to do like a 12-hour, then a 24, then a 48-hour culture. Jeez. Yeah, crazy. Okay, so enough about blood. Let's talk about presents. So tonight, you guys, thank you so much for joining. I know with the holiday getting closer and closer, a lot of people are feeling the crunch to either not be on the call because they're wrapping gifts or they're at the mall or whatever. So we knew that having this 6-week call series end tonight would get us just about to where we needed to be, the holiday approaching. So thank you so much for everybody that's joining us. I'm coming to you from Boise, Idaho, where we still sit today. After thinking that we were just coming to the Christmas party last night, I went to the Christmas party. My husband went to the hospital. So he's still there right now, but everything is looking much better tonight. And then I've got Abby sitting next to me rather than sitting in her house in Boise. So it's so fun. So I wanted to really just take a moment and thank you guys for being with us for 6 weeks. And it was a 7-week duration because we took that week of Thanksgiving off. And many of you on this call tonight have been on every single one of those calls. And it just means the world, when something like this is implemented and you guys take over with it and go. And I'm just so absolutely proud and pleased and honored that so many of you made this a priority on your Wednesday night, and that we had the ability to take all those pillars and break it down so perfectly. So tonight is the last night, so thank you again. We have all kinds of amazing stuff coming up, and I went over a few of those things last night live at the party, but we'll continue to talk more about that. as we get closer to a number of these events. With the holiday being next Tuesday, it'll be really fun just to kind of have a few weeks between now and NYKO off before we start up and do stuff again. But hopefully you're all really taking advantage of that 10% off this week. That's $59 off of a value pack, which is just better than free shipping and free membership as far as I'm concerned. But I wanted to take this time to introduce Staci Wiley. Staci Wiley, you have been with Isagenix for a year and a half or 2 years now. Is it 2?
Year and a half, May 2017.
Wow. Okay. And she's an exec on our team who usually has a whole group of ladies sitting behind her. And maybe they are at your house, even though you're on tonight.
They should be on their own Zoom.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
yeah.
When I've always listed Staci and crew next to your name, but it's been really fun because they've done their huddle before the call and then watched the call together. And I'm sure, had some time to discuss it afterwards. So tonight we are going to turn it over to the lovely Staci Wiley, who oftentimes you'll see her with a very handsome bearded leprechaun looking man named Blaine Duty, who we love. And he's the Isa-Beard guy. So he's out on the road in his beautiful semi truck, and he's using the nutrition from, wherever the road takes him. So we love both of you guys, and I would just excited to see what you're going to have to tell us tonight. Staci Wiley, take it away.
Thank you so much. I have to just reiterate what Sib said as far as just thank you for plugging in, and the fact that we are focusing on Brennan Bouchard, that everyone brought all these beautiful information from the High Performance Academy. You being on this call just shows the growth and the fact that you are in success mode and you're applying disciplines. So I congratulate all of us. And really what I'd like to challenge you tonight before I start talking about presence, which I think is just so perfectly fitting for the holiday, is I just say, put your pen down, and I want you to really feel what we're talking about tonight. I'm going to take you through a few exercises and just have some fun with this. If you have something that you absolutely want to speak on, please unmute yourself and jump in, okay? So the first thing I want everyone to do is breath is everything. So I just want everyone to take a deep breath in and let it out. One more in, let it out. And the last one, breathe that joy in and let it out. That is how we get into state, and I love that. And we'll go back to that later because I think that's part of a morning routine that is so incredibly powerful that I've learned, and it's been life-changing for me. But the thing that I would like to talk about is presence versus presents, which we all love, right? Who doesn't love a nice present? But I want to take you through a little experiment. And I just want you to think about, it's your anniversary. Your sweetheart is taking you out. You went and got a new pedicure, beautiful manicure. You got your beautiful festive dress on. He has reserved a beautiful corner booth, and it's quiet and romantic. And out he brings this beautiful wrapped gift and puts it right in front of you. And you can't wait. I mean, my goodness, what could it be? And all of a sudden his phone dings and he gets a text. Well, I don't know about you, but I can imagine it would be like, ooh, a little deflating. Shake it off. It's all good. You're about ready to open that beautiful gift wrapped box of who knows what's in there. And now his phone is buzzing because he has a phone call. So all I can say is I would think that the excitement that you had when you saw that present in front of you has suddenly shifted, and all you want is the presence and attention of that man that you've spent years with. And really, so many times I think we take for granted the power of presence. And I hate to do this to you, but I have a 5-month-old puppy that is squealing in the background. So hold on a second. I got to get him out of his cage. Milo, you are naughty. I'm so sorry. So when that phone dings and that shift of thought happens and all you want is that presence of mind, just let that soak in for a moment. What does that feel like? It's defeating, right? The gift of presence that you can give to those around you is so incredibly powerful. And I would say that 9 out of 10 people would agree with me. And I took the lesson home. I decided to ask the person that's closest to me, hey, I'm going to ask you 3 scenarios. Can you tell me, am I distracted or am I present in these situations? The first was one-on-one interaction. The second was just casual interaction, driving down the road, hanging out on the couch, watching football. And then large group interaction, because we like to go to seminars and that type of thing. And I'll tell you what, be careful what you ask for, because he didn't hold anything back. And it hurt my heart, but it was a great growth moment for me. He said, you know, I watch you when we go to our seminars and you are so focused. You are so engaged. You are more than present, taking notes, you're interacting, you're asking me questions. The one-on-one, of course you're with me, you know, you're there and we have great conversation and great connection. The part where I stumble is that casual interaction. I let my phone get the best of me. I'm posting, I'm playing Wordscape, whatever. Being next to a person, but not being engaged with them, even if it's just to watch a movie together, that was powerful. In fact, it really hurt me because it hurt him. I said, how does that make you feel? A little insignificant. More like I want to engage with you. And, you know, I found it so strange that you think, why don't you say something? But hey, you know, people do it every day. How many of us have gone to a restaurant and watched a couple, both of them on their phones, not even engaging? It happens all the time. In fact, it was happening in my own family, and a rule had to come up that phones go away. They simply go away. So that being said, I would challenge you, ask the people that you're closest to, where are you in presence? And I think when you ask the hard question, the growth will happen and you can make the change. So I will say that so many times we think, hey, there's all sorts of things I can do. I can talk to you while I'm on the phone, especially our kids. I think a lot of us do this with our children. I can make dinner. I can do the laundry, all of those things. Well, guess what? I think that's a trap, because when you think you can multitask, you are not giving anything 100% of your presence, of your state of mind. And I am a horrible offender of multitasking. So how many of us have literally got up on a Saturday morning and said, it's house cleaning day? You start in the kitchen, you empty the dishwasher, you sweep the floor, you wipe the counters, you walk into the utility room to throw the things in the laundry, and then you grab the laundry out of the dryer and fold it, and you're in your bedroom, and 45 minutes later you come back to a half-done kitchen. I can tell you I've done that 100 times. I'm telling so many things on myself. But to me, it's like, have intent, have presence of mind of what you're doing. And so when we have a plan or a list, wouldn't you say it's so much more beneficial? You know, my teammates, Kenna and Jonna, and I set off across the desert to go stay at Sybil's for 3 days to attend the seminar, the growth seminar that we saw Brendan at. And we set off, none of us had been to Phoenix before. And I can tell you at 3 a.m. across the desert, I was really happy to have a map. And as our friend Brendan says, you better have a map before you go in those woods, because it's a really bad situation when you don't have a plan, you don't have intention. And I would say, a raise of hands, you probably all agree with me. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you consider the difference between a mapped out itinerary and a, hey, we'll just figure it out as we go. I don't know if you've traveled with people like that, but it can make you crazy. So if you can translate that into everyday life, oh my heavens, think about it. It only makes sense. So just think about this. As you are approaching multitasking, you're actually teetering on the line of randomness. And I do know this, again, a little nugget of information that Brendan shared. Randomness will never get you to your goals. And for those of us that are being intentional, doesn't that come across as so powerful? Have a plan. So if you could take randomness and multitasking and replace it with transitional moments, he talked about how important it is as you're moving through your day, especially think of a Monday, you're going to the office. You have 7 messages on your phone lit up, a whole assortment of emails, and you've got 2 people standing at your office door. If you can navigate one thing at a time and do it with intention and swiftness, it is so much more effective. And so he walked us through that and how you can actually transition from one task to another with just a quick close your eyes, deep breath, and shift into the next task. Really, it sounds so simple, and it is, but so many of us forget that tool. And I would really challenge you to start applying that to your days and just see how different things go. It really is neat, I think. As far as, I wanted to talk about what ties into this is also time blocking. And I'm not going to get into this. Sybil's actually spent a lot of time with us on that. But that ties in with those transitional moments of really navigating through your day. And I mean, my heavens, Wonder Woman even needed to know how to time block. It is the most powerful tool. And it is such an easy skill that so many of us forget to do. But you can take 4 colors, pencil out your week, and literally you can look at a glance where you're missing you time or income activities, all of those things just by at a glance if you time block properly. So I just wanted to say that a quote that Brendan used was, time management is mortality management. And I thought, wow, think about that. I mean, really, right? You only have 24 hours in a day, and the efficiency in which you navigate through your day is what you get back. So leaving randomness behind, what if you, instead of randomness, looked at life with a reverence? And when you look at life with a reverence and stand with an attitude of gratitude, I believe that you look at things differently. I mean, really, the challenge is, if you have a reverence for life, ask yourself how you've lived your last 7 days. What does it look like? What's the impact that you've left on others? What's the growth you've given yourself? I think there is a real power to having a morning ritual. And I'd like to walk you through that real quick. The first thing that I do is ground myself. And that's just an easy, just close your eyes, get solid, clear your mind, do your affirmations, whether it's your goals of the day, things that you want to manifest into your life. Get those out there, speak them. There are power in words. And then, of course, there is breathing. There are 2 breathing techniques that I've been taught that literally, I mean, how impactful. If you think about what exercise does to you, you can get that same flood of oxygen just with breath. There's a type of breathing called box breathing, and a second type of breathing that I do called rapid fire breathing. The first is box breathing, and literally this little guy right here, oh, look at this. What kind of box is this? So if you start with box breathing from the top, it's a 5-second breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You let out the breath on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It sounds easy, but if you graduate from 5, 6, 7 seconds and do it in 3 in a row, man, I got to tell you, it's amazing. I mean, you're instantly awake. And then the rapid fire breathing, you're supposed to do 40 of those, one after another, and it's almost like labored breathing. But what it does is it floods that oxygen to your brain, and there's the clarity instantly. That with presence and intention, my gosh, you're ready to rock your day. So as far as presence goes with Brendon Burchard, those are the PowerPoints that I took out of the time with him. We also had the pleasure of meeting speakers like Les Brown, Trent Shelton, and Ms. Rachel Hollis. And I don't know if it was her feminine energy or what it was, but that little lady came out on that stage and blew our minds. And Doreen was there and she's shaking her head. There were so many of us that were just sitting there, just blown away by her transparency. She was so raw. She went completely off script. She went into the audience. But I'll tell you, that little lady's words, within the first 3 minutes, she had us captivated. And the first thing she said is, we're going to get real here. We're going to talk about the hard stuff. We're going to focus on the stuff that no one wants to talk about, the ugly stuff. And it starts with how many of us out there live in comparison or haven't lived in comparison. You know, pretty soon you're on Facebook and you're looking through, and, you know, if stalking someone on Facebook becomes a pastime, you might want to reconsider things. She said, you know, if memes are your love language, you might want to start getting off social media. And I thought that was a hoot, but we use social media as a platform for our business, but so many times it can have the reverse effect on us. Pretty soon you're looking at others, you're comparing, you know, well, she started when I did, I'm not doing what she's doing. I mean, really, it's like, check yourself. And that was the other thing. She's like, get out of your own darn way. Get rid of the excuses, get rid of the comparisons. Really, it's like, what a disservice, right? Focus on your goals, maybe changing your lack of discipline. Those are the things that you want to focus on, not what so-and-so's doing with their business. And then I will say to you, I love the way she said, let go of the guilt. This is your journey. This is your design and your life, and you get to control that. Be intentional, present, no guilt, move forward. You literally need to trust your gut. We all have that innate instinct, and that is a gift. And I will say that the times that I question myself is when I'm not focused and I'm not grounded and I'm not present in what I know I need and what my teammates need. And I would just challenge you to tell you, girl, you got this. You just have to remember that. So I would say the other thing that I took away from Rachel is letting go of thinking about what others think. Remember, it is your dream. What does it look like? So many times you get so busy and so just torn and pulled other ways. We're moms, we're friends, we're sisters, coworkers. Take a moment, take a breath, and remember why you started this. It is your dream and it is your design. So, ever heard of the song? No, I can't even say it. She said a term, OPO. It is other people's opinions. That stuff is none of your business. Let it go. Stay in your lane. Be present in your goals, and you can achieve such greatness. The one thing I would finish off with saying, when things are good and you're in flow, great things start happening. Have you ever had one of those weeks when all of a sudden you're ordering 2 value packs, and then the next week comes along and we have 2 or 3 or 4 more friends, and things are rolling and everything's good, and all of a sudden it comes to a screeching halt? I mean, like full on stop. That is called a universal law, and it's called the law of polarity. You know, it's good to bad. Yin, some people say yang, but it's yang. Literally, you have to realize there's going to be peaks and valleys, but it's how you roll through it. And pretty soon the peaks and then the drops become a smooth flow. And once you harness that and just realize it's part of our business, getting focused and grounded and present in the moment, that's where your strength is. I love that. She talked about having a playlist. It's a badass, kick-ass playlist, and it does not come out. It never comes out unless there's an emergency situation. When you literally are in one of those valleys and you can't get out, you pull out that Spotify playlist and you put it on and you go to work, whether it's at the gym, whatever it is, to get yourself back in state, to get yourself back present with your goals. And I'm at 7:22. I flew through this. I'm just going to finish off with saying that you have to remember that hope is not a strategy. And that's a quote by John Maxwell. I think so many of us have been guilty of the post and pray and just hope that something sticks. When you are present and intentional with your goals, really, it's amazing what you can manifest. And that's what I've got, Sib. That's what I've got. Does anyone have questions?
I love how you just finished with the series name, you know, what you can actually manifest. Because as we were trying to figure out a name for this series, Manifest Your Success just made perfect sense. And we all kind of voted on it and everything. So it was so appropriate for you to finish with that exact word. But, you know, I think what I love about this is that you really did do an experiment with Blaine. And I think many of our partners and our spouses would say, you know, they feel like they don't matter when we're not present. We're, you know, off doing a million other things. So presence is so important in every relationship. And it's getting to be so much more rare in people's relationships because of devices and because of this little thing that dings during dinner and so on. So I think that that rule is a great one. But I think that one of the lessons that I've learned in all of this, in all of the pillars, is that fear is so paralyzing. And I think in every single one of our pillars that you guys covered, there was just this little caveat about, you know, if we didn't have fear, what more could we accomplish? And I know that Rachel Hollis, when she talks about, you know, girl, wash your face, it's like, what, you know, the lie you tell yourself is usually something about fear or comparison or putting yourself out there or failure or whatever. What if we didn't have that? What if we just got to live our life like children do, and they haven't, you know, they don't have fear yet because they haven't had failure yet. And
Right.
I think that that's ultimately the best lesson that we can teach ourselves, is that if we can get out of our own way, we can manifest success tomorrow. But there's always something holding somebody back, and we all experience it. It's not something that some people don't experience.
Right.
Some people are better at hiding it. But I think the general, just kind of to wrap up the whole series, this was just so perfect, because every piece that we covered, all of the pillars are so important. But presence, you got to be present in order to be able to experience any of them. So I love that, Staci. You did a great job. I love all of the quotes. I love that you did the research, you did the experiment. And I'm sure, you know, everybody else that was on these calls can say that they understand, you know, everything a little bit better, in every day they can find a lesson that relates to one of these pillars. So does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Just unmute yourself. Oh, there's Angela Fish saying that it was enlightening. Awesome information. So you guys, unmute yourself unless there's some questions. We'll let you get on with your night, because I know it is crazy week right before Christmas. And again, I just can't thank you enough. Staci, thank you for being willing to do this call. I know that this was your birthday week, and from what I understand, you're still celebrating. It hasn't stopped yet, which I don't think it should. I think it should go on for the whole month, quite honestly. But thank you again for covering this information, and for all of the leaders that covered these calls and volunteered to cover a pillar. You guys blew it out of the water, crushed it. All of these calls now that we're done with the series can be found on a YouTube channel that we've put together for our entire team. All of the trainings that I've ever done, all of these videotapes, all of this series, all of the SWAT team calls are all on a YouTube channel that is called Fit, Fearless, and Fun Health and Wellness. And we'll publish that link so you guys can find this entire series again in case you missed one or two calls here or there. But you guys, this was awesome. This was such a fun collaboration of other leaders talking rather than just always having to hear from me. And you guys crushed it. So thank you. I could not be more proud of this team right now.
Thanks.
Anything else? Anything else, guys?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
unmute-
Stacy.
Thank you for showing up,
Thank you,
guys.
Stacy.
It was
Thank you.
awesome.
Thanks, Stacy. That was great.
Have a Merry Christmas, guys.
Good job, Stacy. Look at
Awesome
you.
job.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thanks, you guys.
Have a
Merry
good
Christmas
night.
to you all.
Thanks so much, Sib, also for bringing this type of platform to us. This has been really good. So we appreciate
was.
your, I always say, your outside the box thinking. So
That's where I live, outside that
keeps it
box.
fun. Yeah, keeps it fun and interesting. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for participating and tuning in every Wednesday. Thanks again. You guys have a great night and a great Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.